The phone was shaking in my hand, and Declan was standing in the kitchen doorway with his coat still on, snow melting off his shoulders onto the tile, and he said, "Is it true?" in a voice I'd never heard him use before, flat and far away. And his mother was in the chair behind him with her arms folded and a look on her face like she'd already won something. And I opened my mouth to. My mother-in-law's misunderstanding nearly tore my marriage apart, but thankfully the truth surfaced just in time. Hi, I'm Sloane Ashby. I'm 31, I teach middle school art, and I've been married to my husband Declan for almost 4 years. We met at a wedding where neither of us knew the couple well. We were both +1s for different friends, and we spent the whole reception at the back table making fun of the DJ. He proposed 11 months later. I say that part fast because it sounds reckless, and it wasn't. It was the easiest yes I've ever said. Declan's mother is named Faye. Faye is 64, widowed for 6 years, and she has exactly 1 child. Guess which one? When Declan and I got engaged, Faye cried for 20 minutes in the kitchen, and I thought it was because she was happy. It took me about a year to understand it was more complicated than that. Faye isn't a villain. I want to say that up front because I know how this kind of story sounds. She's a woman who loved her son fiercely and lost her husband suddenly, and then watched another woman walk into her son's life and redirect his Sundays. She's not cruel, she's scared. That's an important difference, even if the damage looks the same from the outside. Our apartment is small, 2 bedrooms, one of which I use as a studio. Declan works in finance, commercial lending, nothing glamorous, and I supplement my teaching salary with commissions I do on the weekends. Pet portraits mostly, sometimes wedding gifts. I'd been saving up for a bigger easel for about 8 months, the kind that tilts, the kind real painters have. This story starts in November. My best friend Priya had just been diagnosed with a thyroid condition, nothing life-threatening, but it knocked her flat for a while, and I'd been driving across town twice a week to help her with her toddler. Declan knew. Declan was supportive. Declan also had a huge work deadline hitting at the end of the month, some merger thing I didn't fully understand, and he was coming home at 10 o'clock most nights and falling asleep in his clothes. "You look like a ghost," I told him one night. "Thanks, babe." "I'm serious. When's the last time you ate a vegetable?" "Define vegetable." "Declan!" The pickle on the sandwich at lunch. So we were tired, both of us. That matters. Faye started coming over more around then. To help, she said. She'd bring lasagna. She'd do a load of our laundry. She'd rearrange my spice rack in a way I hated but couldn't complain about without looking ungrateful. I smiled and said thank you, and then I'd go into my studio and close the door and text Priya things like, "Send help, she moved my paprika again." The trouble started with a man named Corbin. Corbin was a client. He'd commissioned a portrait of his late golden retriever from a photo, and he'd been emailing me for weeks with edits. Could the eyes be a little softer? Could the background be a warmer green? Could I add the little bandana she used to wear on Fridays? He was polite, if intense. His wife had passed away 2 years before, and the dog had been hers. The portrait was for their daughter's birthday, her first birthday without her mom's dog on the couch beside her. Looking back, I can see now that I was so focused on being kind to a grieving man that I didn't think about how it might look to someone who was already watching me sideways. Corbin called the house phone once. We have a landline because Declan's mother insisted we have one, in case of emergencies. I was in the shower. Faye was in the kitchen. She answered. I came downstairs in a towel to find Faye standing with the phone in her hand and a look on her face like she'd just read something on a bathroom wall. "Who is Corbin?" "A client." "Why?" "He said he'd see you Tuesday." "Yeah, I'm dropping off the portrait." "At his house." "His house, yes, where I've dropped off every portrait I've ever done, Faye." What does mean?" "Nothing. I'll let you get dressed." I should have followed it up right then. I should have said, "Faye, I don't like that and pressed her on it, and made her say whatever she was thinking out loud. But I didn't. I went upstairs and got dressed, and told myself she was being Faye and it would pass. It did not pass. Over the next 2 weeks, little things started happening. Declan stopped texting me during the day. He used to send me dumb memes every couple of hours. That dried up. He came home and was polite instead of warm. He slept facing the wall. I asked him twice if everything was okay at work. He said yes. He said the deadline was crushing him. He said he was just tired. I believed him because I wanted to. My sister Rhiannon noticed before I did. Rhiannon is older than me by 6 years, and she has a sixth sense for marital weather. She called me on a Saturday. Sloan, how's Declan? Tired. Tired how? Work tired. Why? I saw him at the grocery store yesterday. He didn't see me. He looked like somebody kicked him in the stomach. He's under a lot of… Sloan, I know what work tired looks like on him. That wasn't it. I hung up and sat on my studio floor for a while, staring at Corbin's almost finished portrait, trying to figure out what I'd missed. The night it all came apart, it was snowing. It had been snowing all day, actually. The kind of snow that makes the city go quiet, that makes your windows look like a television with the sound off. Priya had asked me to come over and help her with her toddler because she was having a rough day, and I said yes, and I left Declan a note on the counter saying I'd be back by 9. I was back by 8:45. I stomped the snow off my boots in the hallway and let myself in, and that's when I saw him. Declan. Standing in the kitchen doorway with his coat still on, snow melting off his shoulders onto the tile, and Faye in the chair behind him with her arms folded. He didn't say hello. He said, "Is it true?" "Is what true?" "Corbin." My stomach dropped about a foot. "What about Corbin?" "Mom says she's been seeing you leave the house to meet him, says she saw you get in his car last Tuesday." I did get in his car. He needed help carrying the framed portrait to his porch. He has a bad back. I literally carried it with him from the trunk. She said you were there for 40 minutes. Because I was meeting his daughter. He wanted me there when he gave it to her. She's 12, Declan. She cried. I cried. It was a whole thing. Why didn't you tell me? Because I didn't think I had to report every client interaction to you like I'm on parole. Because I didn't think I had to. Faye spoke from the chair. Sloan, I only told him what I saw. What you think you saw, Faye. I saw what I saw. You saw me do my job. I realized in that moment how much of a marriage is built on invisible trust, and how fast someone with access and a theory can start dismantling it plank by plank without even knowing that's what they're doing. Declan ran his hand down his face. Mom, can you give us a minute? Declan, I don't think you should be alone right now. Mom. She got up and got her coat. She did it slowly, like she wanted us to watch her do it. She paused at the door. I only ever wanted to protect you, sweetheart. Go home, Mom. She went. The silence after she left was the worst silence of my life. Even the radiator seemed to hold its breath, and somewhere down the street a car alarm started and stopped and started again. Declan. How long has she been telling you this? He took a long breath. 3 weeks. 3 weeks? She kept saying little things. She said Corbin sent you flowers. She said, Corbin sent a thank you bouquet to the whole family. It came with a card that said thank you to the artist and her husband. It's in the kitchen. It's in the kitchen, Declan. You walked past it for 4 days. He closed his eyes. She said you were lying about where you were going. She said you told me you were at Priya's, but you were seen downtown. I was downtown. I stopped at the framing shop. I told you I was stopping at the framing shop. I texted you a picture of the molding samples. He pulled out his phone. He scrolled. He found the text. His face did something I don't want to describe. Sloan. Don't. Sloan, You let her do this for 3 weeks. I didn't let her do anything. I was trying to figure it out. I didn't want to accuse you of something if she was wrong. But you believed her enough to pull away from me. You believed her enough to stop texting me. You believed her enough to sleep facing the wall. He didn't answer. He couldn't. Who else have you told? Nobody. Good. Sit down. He sat. I went into my studio and I came back with my laptop and I opened my email and I scrolled all the way back to September and I started reading every email between me and Corbin out loud. Every single one. The one where he asked about the bandana. The one where he sent the photo of his daughter. The one where he signed off Best C. And please thank your husband for his patience with my edits. Declan's eyes were wet by email 4. Stop. No. Sloan, stop. I want you to sit with it. I want you to sit with the fact that you almost blew up our marriage on the word of a woman who has never liked me. She likes you. Declan. She tolerates you. Declan. Okay. I closed the laptop. I'm going to stay at Rhiannon's tonight. Please don't. I need to. I need to not be in the same room as you right now. I love you. I still love you. But if I stay here tonight, I am going to say things that I can't take back, and I don't want to do that." He nodded. He was crying. I don't think I'd seen him cry since his dad's funeral. I packed a bag and I drove to Rhiannon's in the snow. Sometimes you don't learn who someone really is until the moment they choose whose version of you to believe. And the answer isn't always the one you wanted it to be. Rhiannon made me tea and let me sleep in her guest room. In the morning, she sat across from me at the kitchen table, sliding a plate of toast toward me even though we both knew I wouldn't touch it. "What do you want to do?" "I don't know." "Do you want to leave him?" "No." "Do you want him to grovel?" "A little. Not forever. Just enough." "Do you want Faye out of your life?" I thought about that for a long time. I want her to know what she did. I want her to say it out loud. Okay, then that's what we do. Rhiannon came with me the next day. Declan had texted me 9 times. "Please come home. Please, I'm so sorry. Please let me make this right." I texted back, "We're coming over at 2. You, me, your mother, Rhiannon. No exceptions." Faye arrived first. She was already in the living room when we got there, perched on the edge of the couch, wearing her church clothes for some reason, her purse clutched in her lap like a shield. "Sloan, honey." "Sit down, Faye." She sat. I put Corbin's emails on the coffee table, all of them, printed out. I put the thank you bouquet card next to them. I put the receipt from the framing shop with the timestamp on it. I put a screenshot of the text I'd sent Declan with the molding samples. "Look at all of it." "Sloan." "Look, Faye." She looked. "I didn't mean to. You told my husband I was cheating on him." "I never said that word." "You said enough that he stopped sleeping next to me." "That's the word, Faye. That's what you said." She started to cry. I didn't move. "I was scared," she said. "Of what?" That he'd end up like his father and I'd end up alone on the other side of it. His father died in a car accident, Faye. That has nothing to do with— I know it doesn't. I know." Declan was sitting with his head in his hands. "Mom." "Declan, I never—" "Mom, stop talking." She stopped. "You don't come here uninvited anymore. You don't do our laundry anymore. You don't rearrange her spices anymore. You call before you come over and you come over less. And if you ever tell me something about my wife again, you tell her to her face first, in front of me, so she can answer it. Are we clear?" Faye nodded. She couldn't speak. "Are we clear?" "Yes." Rhiannon walked her out. I stayed on the couch. Declan came and sat next to me but didn't touch me. "I don't know how to fix this," he said. "You can't fix it in one night." "Okay, but you can start." "How?" "You can start by remembering that you married me. Not her, me." He put his head on my shoulder. I let him. That was all I let him do that night, but I let him do that, and outside the snow just kept falling like it had nowhere better to be. What I came to understand is that loving someone doesn't make you immune to believing lies about them. It just means the wound goes deeper when you do. It's been about 14 months since that night. We did 6 months of counseling. Declan did 3 months on his own with someone else. We don't see Faye at our house. She sees us at restaurants or at Rhiannon's when we do family holidays there. It's a smaller relationship than it used to be, and I think that's fair. I don't hate her. I just don't trust her, and I've stopped pretending I do. Declan is different now, in ways that are good and ways that are sad. He's more careful with me. He asks questions instead of stewing. He checks his own assumptions out loud. "Sloan, I'm thinking something weird. Can I run it by you before I spin on it?" That's a sentence he says now. He didn't used to. But there's a quiet in him sometimes. A guilt quiet. I catch him watching me from across a room, with a look on his face like he's apologizing again, silently, for the 100th time. I tell him to stop. He says okay. He doesn't stop. Priya's thyroid is managed now. Her toddler turned 3 and had a dinosaur-themed party where Declan got roped into wearing a velociraptor mask for 2 hours. Corbin sent me a Christmas card with a photo of his daughter holding the portrait, and I showed it to Declan the second it came in the mail. And he looked at it and he laughed and he said, "God, I'm an idiot." And I said, "Yeah, a little." And that was the first time we laughed about it. So tell me, have you ever had someone in your life who loved you but didn't trust you? Or trusted someone else's story about you more than yours? How did you come back from it? Did you? Drop it in the comments because I really do read them, and I think a lot of us are carrying some version of this one. If this story found you at the right moment, give it a like. It helps more than you'd think. And subscribe if you want to keep watching these with me. I've got more coming. Take care of yourselves out there and be careful what you believe about the people who love you.